Hey, welcome back. Tonight I'll be doing a ring pour. Um, it's actually a split cup. I have a vision for it. We'll see how it turns out. Um, I will put in the description of how I mix my paints. Um, Usually whenever I pull those out, I just hit the corners just to help, at the end of getting a corner on the ring pour. Sometimes you want a little extra paint. My paints are a little thicker due to the fact that I want it to maintain the cells, or not cells, but the rings. See, I'm used to doing SheleeArt Technique, so I'm like cells, but no, we're talking about rings right now. Um, some of the colors I used, um, the red is a burgundy type color, and then there's a phthalo turquoise, which was phthalo green and phthalo blue mixed together. Um, Followed by some gray and just some yellow that I actually added 1 or 2 drops of azo gold to give it more of a lower goldish, darker yellow tint. Right off the bat, I can kind of see some of my colors, they did mix a little bit, and I really don't like that, but it's nothing I can do now, so I'm going to keep going. Hopefully I don't get a drip. That's why I'm slowly turning it so it's kind of a travel ring in a way. So usually I try to go like, move the paint in a circle and then eventually hit a corner. I just find it easier that way. That way it's not stretched all the way to one side and then back. But I mean, you can kind of tell from at least from that angle that there were some not mixing of any type of paint. So hopefully this comes out the way that I envisioned it. You can kind of see from the glare that it has some air bubbles in the paint, so it will bring up some of the colors from whatever layer that's in. And if you don't want that, you can mix up your colors that way and let them sit. That way it has time for the air bubbles to come up and you won't have this problem. Or you can, in a way, for me, leave them in the cup and try to hit the cup on the table to try to get them to come up for the most part. But the best way is just to mix your paint, let it sit for, I don't know, an hour or so, and then come back and use it. But yeah, so I'll have those little, I don't know, freckles, I guess. Not the ones on my arms, the ones in the paint, but yeah, hopefully I got enough paint for this. I think I measured it right. So for me, I'm seeing this kind of a fall-ish color in a way, scheme. Got on Pinterest and I don't know, looked up Burgundy color schemes or palettes, and this was one of those. In my opinion, their picture looked better, just because it was like some type of, I don't even remember, but yeah, it was like a nature photo. Those always tend to look better, right? Right now I'm trying to get the paint's hitting the edge, as you can see, and it's not just gliding over, so I'm trying to help it with my finger. That you can do. I'm sorry about being out of frame. I'll get it right back. I'm trying to move the paint over and get the edges, or just you can't see it. But yeah, I've been doing Shelley art for a while, and I don't know, I felt like I'm going out of touch with the other forms of art that I did previously, so I'm trying to find time to do something else other than Shelley, and I wanted to do a ring pour. So the Dutch pours are still kind of a hit or miss with me. Still not used to the hair dryer, but I don't use it every day, so it is what it is. So I'm really going to stretch this out to cover the canvas, but I think we're going to get there. And I don't know, I think the gray color was a mistake. From part of it, you can kind of see where the yellow and the gray mix, so it's giving like a greenish tint. That's the best way I can describe it. But on the far right side, where the colors are very distinguished and the lines are all there, I really like that side. That's probably my favorite side. I would try to get the ring part that got traveled. I kind of want that more towards the center, but I don't think I'm gonna get there, and I'm just gonna leave it. And I've made a rule in my house due to my wife. She always complains that I scrape too many canvases, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. You know, happy wife, happy life. Is that the way it goes? She'd probably disagree with that and say I'm the one, but anyway, yeah. So here's a bit of a close-up. Well, I thought, yeah, I'm trying to turn it. And the glare doesn't help that much. So we're just going to do this right here. Alright, there you go. So there that is. And at the end of this, I will show you how I layered my paints, in case somebody was inclined to know. But yeah, I want to say thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. And a little teaser, if you're actually inclined to know, is that I used the same paint for the SheleeArt and used the cell activator with that. And yeah, it worked. So I'm going to play a little bit more with that in my next video. So take care. Alright, so here we are. Basically I get a cup. I cut out a piece of paper to split it. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on each side is going to be the opposite of the way I poured the other side. So like one side will be burgundy, yellow, gray, and then the phthalo turquoise, and then the other side is just going to be the opposite of that. You might can tell that my paints are on the thicker side just because it helps them maintain their rings. For the most part, my colors are mixed. 5 to 6 parts of American Floetrol to 2 parts Creative Inspirations, Gloss, Medium, and Varnish, which is one product. And then I'd put maybe like 1 to 2 parts paint. It really depends. You know, some paints they have they weigh more, so it makes it a little bit thinner on some and thicker on the others, so I just try to compensate for that. So for the most part, the colors are JoSonja's Burgundy with the Phthalo Turquoise is actually a mix between Artistloft Phthalo Green and Liquitex Phthalo Blue. And the yellow is a Liquitex cadmium yellow medium hue with a couple of drops of the Acrylics by Golden of Azo Gold. And the gray is just Artistloft. So, I mean, really no special colors here. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Once I'm done, just pull the piece of cardboard out, piece of paper out, and yeah, you've already seen that part already. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is basically how I mix my colors for ring pours for the most part. So nothing special with that. And then anyway, take care.